Good morning, everyone. We had an interesting day yesterday here in Indianapolis. There were two mass shootings. Both of them were technically in suburbs. One inside of Indianapolis, and then another one just south of Indianapolis. The one inside Indianapolis is in a town called Beech Grove, and this was in the evening time. 4 people were shot, 1 person was killed, ironically at a vigil that family and friends were having for another person who had died. And they haven't released much information on that one as of yet. When they do, if it's noteworthy, I'll maybe do a video on it. But the big thing I want to talk about is the one that was just south of Indianapolis in Greenwood. So Greenwood is just on the other side of the county line, south of Indianapolis. And they have a mall there. And an individual with a long gun, they haven't identified publicly the type of weapon it was. We'll just say for current stuff that it was an AR. Most likely it was. And because they're saying the individual had multiple magazines worth of with them. This person, the way the mall is set up, there's a large open concept food court that you can come in off of from the outside entrance. And individual came in armed with the long gun and immediately opened fire as soon as they walked in. 4 people were killed, including the shooter, which I'll get to here in a second. And I believe 3 were injured, including a 12-year-old girl who got a graze wound, and I can't confirm it as of yet, but listen to the scanner. Somebody was actually shot and drove home because they didn't realize they were shot, because they just had a graze as well. But the thing to talk about with this particular shooting is, first off, it was stopped almost as quickly as it was started. The individual was only able to get off a few rounds, luckily, because an armed citizen was at the mall doing whatever they were doing and was able to take out the shooter with their handgun. So you had an individual, a citizen, not a cop, not anything like that, a citizen, take out the shooter who was armed with a long gun. That in itself is noteworthy. This individual immediately, stupid bus. I hate the buses here in Indianapolis. They're just freaking buttheads. Anyways, I digress. This individual immediately closed the distance and engaged the shooter. The individual was only 22 years old, from the suburbs of Indianapolis, and was able to take out the shooter before more damage was done. Now, I am entirely grateful for this individual. The thing that is driving me absolutely insane with the media right now is, technically speaking, the mall is a gun-free zone. They do not allow firearms on their property. Now in Indiana, a sign does not carry the weight of law. Well, yes, it is private property. Vast majority of individuals who go to the mall who would carry a firearm are, in my opinion, smart in that situation and carry it concealed. And if they don't know, they won't say nothing to you. That's pretty much the thing there. If they see it, they will ask you to leave. And that is entirely their right. It is private property. They will ask you to leave. It does nothing. They don't criminally trespass you just for carrying a handgun there. They will call the cops, obviously, if you refuse to leave, and then you can be arrested for criminal trespass. But the news is saying, oh, well, while the Good Samaritan was able to take out the shooter, he shouldn't have had a gun in the first place there. Well, yeah, you know what? Neither should the guy who decided he wanted to kill people. So, in this situation, well, 99 times out of 100, it doesn't. In this situation, 2 wrongs didn't make it right. Because otherwise, the security guards there at the mall are not armed. Oftentimes, they do have off-duty cops that work there, either uniformed or plain clothes. But I don't know if they had or not. And even if they had, unless they were right there where in the food court, there would have been much more damage done without this civilian who took it upon himself to engage and neutralize the shooter. I hate the mainstream because they're trying to vilify this guy. They should be praising the guy. He stopped this shooter. They haven't identified the shooter yet. Surprise, surprise. They haven't identified the motive. That doesn't surprise me either. But while it does suck that 3 people lost their lives because of this shooter, it could have been a lot worse had this individual not stepped up and used their firearm that they are legally allowed to carry and engaged that shooter and took them out. Let me know your thoughts. Talk to y'all later.